This is Bill Thurman, the author of the Babe Ruth Bucket, Myths and Truths of Tax-Free Retirement, also known as Liam. So today with the Liam, today what we're going to do, we're going to fix all that, right? I just screwed up. Let me start over. You ready?
Go.
Hi, this is Liam, the author of the Babe Ruth Bucket, Truths and Myths of Tax-Free Retirement. We're here today to talk about some different things on our podcast. Our first thing we're going to talk about today is going to be estate planning during the pandemic. Now, one of the things that I think a lot of people during this time period that are a little aggravated is that you can't meet necessarily with your financial advisor face to face. We will meet with you if you want to. You can meet with us on Zoom if you'd like. If you know how to do that, we'll do it by phone if you need to. But don't hesitate to talk to your financial planner or talk to your estate planner or somebody during this time, just because of the pandemic's going on. Some of the things that during this ongoing pandemic that we want to make sure that people understand is that even though it's disrupting our daily lives and our daily activities, it doesn't mean that you have to forego the future, because we all know that this too must end, or this too shall pass. I'm not so sure that the politicians want it to, but eventually this will have to go away and they'll come up with a new one, but we'll see what happens. The health crisis has led many people to examine their own mortality at this point. And they start to say to themselves, well, with this crisis, if it continues to rage on, what are some of the other issues? And my problem with the pandemic isn't necessarily the pandemic, it's the collateral damage. For instance, if I got a friend of mine, he had to go in and get a colonoscopy, for instance, and they found that he had some issues, and so then he had to go to a surgeon, and then he had to go, all of those things he had to do by himself. Now, he had nothing to do with the pandemic, yes, but still, he didn't get the things he needed to help him because of the collateral damage, and that's one of the things that's aggravating me. Fortunately, I had a friend of mine that passed away 2 years before the pandemic, and he had cancer. And I remember me and my buddy Matt, we would go constantly with him to his different meetings. We'd go with him when he sat in for chemo. If he would have been around today, we wouldn't have been able to do that. And again, I think that the collateral damage of this pandemic is more devastating than the pandemic itself. And I think one of the things that's aggravating me, and I'll go off on a tangent just a piece, just because I don't wear a mask, or just because I don't agree with certain things, I can't wear a mask because I have health issues on my own, but I wouldn't wear one anyway because I don't believe in it. But it doesn't mean I don't care about the elderly, it doesn't mean I don't care about the sick. It means I'm smart enough to know that if somebody's sick, I stay away from them. If I'm not feeling well, I don't go out, and I know how to wash my hands. Matter of fact, I'm talking to Matt, my film guy, I've been washing my hands since I was 3. It's imagine that. I've done how to. So let's don't let that ignorance keep us away from doing our financial planning as well. One of the biggest things that are being messed up right now, people aren't doing their wills. People aren't updating their wills. They're not updating their trust. I saw a guy the other day, one of the trust attorneys saying, they're going to do a seminar, and if you don't have a trust, you need to get with us. You don't need a trust necessarily. And I would really caution you with using a trust attorney that pushes the trust and doesn't tell you that there are other options. Did you know that you have insurance policies with beneficiaries if you have TOD or POD on your bank account statements and your house? A lot of those things are going to be transferred on death and payable on death. Okay, so you may not need a full-blown trust. You may not need anything more than a simple basic will. Okay, so if you have a trust attorney who's telling you everybody should have a trust, that's baloney. A trust is going to cost you between $2,500 and $5,000. Okay, for what? Explain to me what's the purpose of it. Okay, if you're under $1 million in your estate, probably don't need a trust. Okay, now what if I want to do a will? Well, wills run you between $250 and $750, depending on how you do it. But one of the things that people forget about is when you're doing a will, you want to make sure you have certain directives in there. You want to make sure you have a healthcare power of attorney. You want to make sure you have a durable healthcare power of attorney. You want to make sure you have a durable power of attorney. People say, well, what's the difference between a durable and then a basic power of attorney? Well, a power of attorney would be that I don't know, I'm out of town. Maybe I'm in Florida on vacation, and that would be a durable situation. I'm sorry, a power of attorney. If I was in town and you came to see me and I didn't know where I was at, that's a durable power of attorney. So in other words, if you have an issue like maybe Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, or you have something where you can't totally function, then the durable power of attorney would come into play. So if you just have a power of attorney, you might want to visit with one of our people and our consultants, and we're at 866-848-7688, and we'll give you some free advice and help you and guide you in that direction. But those are one of the biggest mistakes people make, is they don't have a financial power of attorney, a healthcare power of attorney, and they don't have the correct one. And I'm telling you, durable power of attorney is where you want to go. The durable power of healthcare and durable power for financial. So make sure we do that. Also, if you're considering a trust, make sure you call us first. We have attorneys on staff. We have people that can work with you. We have people that what our attorneys do is they're not going to push a will or a trust. They're going to give you the choice of both, and they'll let you know what you need, what you do not need. Okay, and again, if you have TOD, POD, and beneficiaries on your policies and stuff, there's a good chance you just need a simple will. Okay, so let's make sure that we're not making horrendous mistakes in this pandemic by not talking to the right people. You can talk to us by phone, 866-848-7688. You can email us at theliamgroup@gmail.com. Ask us a question, do whatever you want to do. Okay, but make sure you're talking to somebody. Don't just do something because somebody says, oh, everybody else is doing it, or this is not the number one thing to do, is because in most cases it's not. Again, thanks for listening to our podcast today. I'm Liam, the author of the Babe Ruth Bucket, Truths and Myths of Tax-Free Retirement.